Hello, my dear raw souls. This is Marina from Soul in the Raw, and how are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. I got back from Yosemite a little while ago, and I'm still kind of recovering because I miss it so much, and it's so hard to be back in the city, but it's also cool because you get access to all these places and people, and there are good things about it, but I miss it. So anyways, I am excited because tonight we're having people come over for a vegan cheese and kombucha dinner party. The kombucha part was not my idea, it was Tomil's idea. He's obsessed with kombucha and I don't like it. I admit it, I do not like kombucha. But I'm really excited for the vegan cheese. You probably all know how obsessed with cheese I am. And we have all kinds of dishes with cheese. I'm making my pizza recipe with cheese, and I'm gonna link it up here because you have to make it. And yeah, so that's gonna be fun. In our little apartment, we're gonna fit like 9 or 10 people. So I can't wait. Good friends, good company, just fun stuff. And I wanted to talk about something that kind of ties into that. So a little while ago, I put up this post on Instagram and I want to read it to you. It goes, now that I've been vegan for almost 6 years, my biggest struggle is actually my tendency to do it perfectly rather than any cravings for unhealthy foods. I sometimes fear going out and eating something with oil or sugar or just eating anything processed. I believe fearing food creates a mega stress on our bodies, and it's better to eat a bit of processed food here and there rather than be scared of it. Blah, 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 goes on and on. So I got a lot of responses about this, and I just thought it'd be a really important video to make because it's honestly a struggle that I've had and I'm still kind of having a little bit, and I wanted to share how I'm dealing with it. And one of the comments that I got was from Raw Real Love, and she says, I definitely agree. I feel like it makes me overthink and I end up being so hard on myself. It's the perfectionist in me, and at the same time I know that I should not always give into certain cravings. Definitely need a balance. So yeah, I want to talk about this because when I started out basically wanting to be healthy, it wasn't veganism for animal rights, it was veganism for my health. So the title of this video is something like, should you be vegan 100% of the time? And back then I wanted to be vegan 100% of the time, only for my health, not for any ethical reasons. And I wanted to be perfect. I actually wanted to be raw vegan 100% of the time. And one of the ways that I kept testing if I'm eating healthy enough on my own body is with my period, because I was dealing with really bad period cramps, and I kept saying like, okay, this month did I eat healthy enough? Was it good enough? How's my period gonna feel? And stuff like that. And that whole mindset and just wanting to be perfect, wanting to be 100% raw, wanting to eat really healthy all the time really took a toll on me. So at one point on the journey, I just realized that it's making me stressed when I actually eat my food. So I just kept, I kept wanting to eat like no oil, no sugar, no salt. The no salt part is really hard for me, and you know me, I love my salt. And just wanting to eat absolutely no processed foods and stuff like that. And all of that, like I said, it really took a toll on me and just made me stressed around food in general, because it was always this time that I had to be perfect and I had to eat perfectly. And I started kind of looking at it as an expression of who I am as a person, and that it reflects me as a person, the goodness of me. And also the whole cleansing thing. There's a big, this paradigm of cleansing out there, especially in the raw food world, but also just in the health field, that we always need to cleanse our body constantly, and that it's not clean enough, it's not pure enough, and all these things. And this belief is really problematic, and I used to do it. I used to do cleanses all the time, and not that I'm against cleanses, and I probably will do a cleanse at some point soon, but I'm against the mentality of always thinking that you're not clean enough and you're not good enough, and it just translates to so much more than food. And I really believe that food is just the beginning of the journey. It's just the beginning of the spiritual journey. It's just the beginning of the health journey as well. So food is kind of like the window to starting to really get healthy on all these different wavelengths. It starts with your physical body, but for those of you who know me, I'll link the video up here of, my healing journey that was about emotional healing and sexual assault, and dealing with that. So food was just the beginning for me, and for all of us, pretty much, food is just a part of the puzzle. And if we're always thinking that we have to be perfect in food, then we're not going to actually treat ourselves in a healthy way. And moreover, this is really cool, and I'm going to link this article below in the description box, that when they do a lot of studies on this, and I find it so cool and fascinating that if you're stressed out when you're actually eating, a lot of weird stuff happens. So they did this study where they compared people who ate a high saturated fat meal, probably animal products, and then also a high fat meal but plant-based, which is obviously less inflammatory to your body, and they expected that the response after the food would be anti-inflammatory when obviously somebody eats plant-based. But they had people, I think it was just women, eat this when they were really stressed, and the response was inflammatory. So basically your stress trumps your good food. And there's a lot of different studies on this, but I just find it so helpful to know those facts. And so I want to share kind of like my attitude on food right now, and it's always evolving and changing, but it's at a pretty good place right now. I feel pretty good with my choices and just the way that I eat and the way that I feel when I'm eating and after I'm eating. So in my house, there is pretty much no processed food. There are like kind of, more processed sweeteners like coconut sugar and maple syrup and stuff like that, that actually I'm hoping that when I finish them, I won't buy them again, because I just really advocate for no processed food in the home, no oil, no sugar, no processed meat, stuff like that. And you're all probably at different stages on your vegan journey, and you kind of have to pick what you can deal with. So if you're eating processed vegan meats, and that's where you are at right now, that's okay, and you're probably gonna evolve to an even better place when you're ready. But that's what I teach for Soul in the Raw, and also in my courses. So in my course, The Effortlessly Flavorful Vegan Kitchen, I basically teach you how to remove all this processed food from your kitchen, in your home, because that's the number one place that we eat most of our food, hopefully for most of us. So I teach how to make this homemade food that is not processed and tastes awesome. And I'm gonna link right now, also in the description box and up here somewhere. I can never remember if it's on the right side or the left side, I swear. I'm gonna link where you can waitlist for the course, because it's gonna be opening for the second round very soon, so that's exciting. So make sure you waitlist. So that's what I teach. But, when you go out to eat with your friends or your family or by yourself, and, when somebody just like offers you food, I personally, all I want to know is that it's vegan and that it's relatively healthy. Like, I have kind of my own guidelines. I try to eat low oil even when I'm eating out. I don't eat the fake, the really processed vegan foods, like really processed vegan meats and cheeses and stuff like that. I don't even like the taste anymore. So those are my guidelines, but I still am a lot more loose about it when I'm eating out than when I'm eating in my house. And I only eat out maybe once a week or less. So those are kind of my guidelines, and I feel very happy with that, and I don't stress about it. I try to just eat my meal and be happy. And that really leads me to develop a good relationship with my body, which is my priority, absolutely priority. And the question that I posed in the title of this video that is maybe controversial, probably, do you have to be 100% vegan? So if you're doing this for your health, the answer is no. And they've found it in a lot of research that just like I'm saying that you can eat processed food once a week, or just 90% of the time eat healthy and 10% of the time not eat healthy, and your body is so strong and beautiful and capable of dealing with that, it's the same with not eating vegan, because eating processed food and eating, meat can be kind of similar to your body so it's basically, that's what they found in the research, that it doesn't affect your body so much. However, I don't recommend it at all, and that's for several reasons. Number one, if you eat cheese, for example, or even meat, like processed meat, once a week or something like that, it's really, really addicting, and it's going to keep you in that loop. And I've been there and I've done it, and it's just kept me so addicted for the longest time, and just wanting to eat it more and more, and it just crept up into my diet. So that's number one. So that's for your health. It's really hard to just do it once a week. And number two, and most importantly for me, is the environment and the animals. That being vegan is an ethical choice, and that's why it's not a diet. And when you are eating vegan for an ethical reason, you don't really get cravings, because you just feel happy to be doing it for an ethical reason, for something that is in your heart and your passion, wanting to be good to the environment, because veganism is the best way to prevent deforestation and greenhouse gases and many other things. And also, of course, to not harm animals, to be as nonviolent as we can towards animals. Again, we're not going to be perfect, but we're going to come pretty darn close when we're vegan. So those are the reasons that my personal answer, and what I recommend to all my students, is to continue to be vegan 100% of the time. So to sum this all up, food, the most interesting part about food is not just how, what you're eating and the fact that it just kind of fulfills caloric needs, but that it's actually about how you're eating and your attitude towards it, and how it affects your attitude towards your body and your soul. And that is the most important part of food at the end of the day. That's why eating vegan and eating food that has not suffered itself also makes you more peaceful on the inside. And the other thing is, don't be so harsh on yourself. You don't need to be perfect all the time. And it's something that I think a lot of health nuts have learned on their journey. So just trust your body, and just trust that it is strong, it is powerful, and it can get through a little bit of processed food and nothing's going to happen. It has the innate ability to always cleanse itself, and you just have to give it the right foods 90% of the time. So that's about it. Again, don't forget, if you're interested in registering for the course, or just hear more information about it, it's gonna open very, very soon. So make sure to waitlist, and the link is gonna be up here on the screen as well as in the description box. And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week. Much, much, much love to you. Bye.